Welcome back to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to crucial insights. Today, we're dissecting the groundbreaking, often really dazzling world of generative AI.
hmm
You know, the tech that's creating amazing art, text, and it's fundamentally reshaping industries.
It really is.
But here's the twist we're looking at. This same power, this transformative tech, is also quietly fueling a dangerous surge in financial crime. Specifically, money laundering, and maybe on a scale we haven't seen before.
It's definitely an incredible innovation, no doubt about it, truly. But yeah, beneath that surface, all those possibilities, there's this darker side unfolding. This
Right.
technology we celebrate for its creativity.
Mhm.
It's also becoming a tool in, well, financial crime, particularly money laundering. It's a worrying trend.
And it's not a small problem, is it? When we talk scale, I mean, the numbers are huge. We're talking at least $300 billion laundered every year, just in the USA.
Just in the U.S., yeah.
And the really chilling part, with sophisticated AI becoming so, well, available, these figures could just skyrocket. Criminals are using it to automate, to refine their methods.
Absolutely. So our mission really in this deep dive is to unpack exactly how these sophisticated AI models are being misused by criminals,
Yeah.
how they automate and refine these illicit activities.
Okay.
But then, and this is the interesting part, we'll look at the counter narrative, how the same technology is actually being used to fight back against these crimes.
A double-edged sword, then. Okay, so before we get into the, let's say, the darker applications, maybe we should quickly frame generative AI itself for everyone listening.
Good idea.
It's more than just, making pictures or writing poems. It's a sophisticated branch of AI, right? It produces diverse content, text, images, audio, video, all by learning patterns from massive data sets.
Exactly. And the key difference, I think, from older AI is its ability to generate entirely new stuff, not just analyze what's already there.
It creates...
It creates.
Yeah.
And that's precisely why it introduces these really unique fraud risks we're talking about.
Okay, so let's get into the problem. How does it actually help launder money? What's the core method?
Well, the core method is that criminals are using these advanced AI algorithms, not just to hide where the dirty money comes from, but to do it with like unprecedented efficiency and scale.
Efficiency and scale.
Yeah. Generative AI lets them automate and optimize pretty much every step. Makes it incredibly difficult for the traditional detection methods to, keep up.
So what does that look like, practically speaking? I guess the first step for many crimes is getting a fake identity, right? How does generative AI boost the production of fake IDs and documents?
Oh, it's a total game changer there. It can create these hyper-realistic counterfeit identities. We're talking passports, driver's licenses, even utility bills that look incredibly real.
Wow.
And it's not just printing fakes anymore. It's generating convincing digital images, maybe even video snippets that can sometimes bypass even advanced biometric or digital ID checks. Yeah. So they can open bank accounts, set up shell companies much more easily than before.
That's terrifyingly effective. And I imagine it doesn't stop there. Creating the ID is one thing, but moving the actual money, how is it automating that?
Yeah, that's a key part. Automating transactions. It's not just about splitting big sums into smaller ones anymore. That's old school.
Oh, okay.
AI can algorithmically orchestrate millions of tiny transactions, microtransactions really, each one disguised as a legitimate payment, maybe spread across a huge global network of accounts.
Millions.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's financial alchemy almost. It makes traditional tracing methods, well, pretty much obsolete sometimes. It just overwhelms investigators with the sheer volume and complexity.
Right, it's like that old shell game, but digital and with thousands of shells moving at once.
Exactly.
And to make it look even more legitimate, I suppose AI is also creating fake business activities to justify all these transactions.
Precisely. Generative AI can whip up perfectly crafted, highly realistic invoices, contracts, other corporate documents, all to simulate fraudulent business activity.
So like a ghost company.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Imagine a completely fabricated company. It's got a full set of convincing paperwork for services never rendered, goods never shipped. It looks like real commerce. Makes it incredibly challenging for banks and financial institutions to do their due diligence properly.
Okay, that brings up online marketplaces and crypto. They're already pretty complex areas. How's AI exploiting those?
Yeah, this is where it gets really potent. In online marketplaces, AI can craft incredibly convincing product listings.
How so?
Detailed descriptions, high-quality images, maybe even AI-generated customer reviews, all designed to facilitate fraudulent transactions that just look completely legit.
Wow, fake reviews too.
And similarly, in crypto, AI-driven transactions can blend illicit funds seamlessly into the high volume of normal crypto trading. It masks the money laundering under the guise of legitimate investment or arbitrage. Very hard to spot.
And what about the human angle? I've heard AI is making things like phishing almost undetectable. Is that just better grammar, or is it more sinister?
Oh, it's much more insidious than just good grammar. Generative AI can create incredibly convincing phishing emails, texts. It can even simulate entire conversations, adapting in real time.
Real-time adaptation.
Yeah, so we're not just talking about scams that look professional. We're talking sophisticated impersonations. It can mimic someone's writing style, their tone, maybe even refer to shared knowledge.
Oh, wow.
All designed to manipulate people, to trick them into unknowingly participating in money laundering or just giving up sensitive data. The effectiveness of these AI-powered social engineering attacks.
Yeah.
It's a really severe threat.
And tied into that, there's this growing concern about synthetic identities for credit fraud. That sounds like it builds on the fake ID problem.
It absolutely does. It's kind of the next level.
Yeah.
Generative AI is being used to create what people call synthetic identities.
Synthetic, so not stolen, but completely made up.
Exactly. They aren't stolen identities. They're entirely fabricated individuals. But they come complete with a seemingly legitimate digital footprint, social media hints, online records, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Criminals then use these AI-generated identities to apply for credit cards, loans, basically laundering funds through the legitimate financial system from the get-go.
And harder to detect.
Much harder,
Yeah.
because there's no real person to report their identity stolen. Generative AI helps create fakes that can bypass traditional checks designed for human-made forgeries. You often don't spot them until the damage is done.
It really does sound like this escalating digital arms race, doesn't it?
It does.
But here's that twist you mentioned. The same AI powering the criminals. It's also becoming our best defense. Let's shift gears. How is generative AI helping anti-money laundering, or AML?
Indeed. And this is crucial. A key aspect is how generative AI enhances pattern recognition. Advanced pattern recognition.
Oh, so.
It can identify incredibly complex patterns, subtle anomalies, in huge volumes of real-time financial data. Things that traditional rule-based systems would likely miss.
So spotting the needle in the haystack?
Kind of. By analyzing these massive data sets, it can spot the faint signals of sophisticated laundering schemes that are constantly changing and evolving. It gives institutions a crucial edge.
So it's not just processing more data, it's seeing different things in it. How does it do that? Does it look for outliers or build a picture of normal?
It's really both, and a bit more complex even. AI goes beyond just simple outlier detection. It dynamically assesses risk levels for customers, for transactions, considering all sorts of interconnected variables.
Okay.
It builds these really comprehensive profiles based on transaction history, behavior patterns, network analysis, who they transact with. It gives a much more detailed, proactive view of potential risk.
Right.
And that helps institutions prioritize, focus their monitoring efforts where they're most needed.
And that sounds like it links straight into enhanced due diligence, which is fundamental for AML. I guess AI must streamline that whole process.
It absolutely does. Generative AI can automate collecting and analyzing customer data from loads of different sources. It can generate comprehensive reports on entities, their financial history, legal status, any potential red flags, way faster than a human could.
Right. Speed and thoroughness.
Exactly. It provides a level of depth in KYC. Know your customer procedures, that's just really hard to achieve manually. Deeper insights into risk.
That's a huge efficiency gain, especially with the sheer volume of data now. And you mentioned something really innovative earlier, simulating money laundering scenarios.
Yes. This is where it gets really exciting, I think. Its ability to create realistic simulations of different money laundering tactics.
So like a practice run for the bank's defenses?
Pretty much. It's like financial institutions running digital war games. They can test their systems against simulated attacks before the real criminals try them.
Okay, that's proactive.
Very. It lets them find vulnerabilities in their own systems and adjust their AML strategies before criminals exploit them. It's like having a digital crystal ball for potential weaknesses.
That's incredibly valuable. And finally, what about regulatory compliance and reporting? That's always a huge task for institutions.
It is. And AI helps there too. Its ability to process and analyze massive amounts of data can be used to ensure ongoing compliance with AML regulations, which are always changing.
Right. Keeping up is hard.
It is. AI can automatically generate the required reports, the documentation needed for regulators. This cuts down the administrative burden significantly, reduces the risk of noncompliance, and frees up human analysts to focus on more complex judgment calls.
So tying this all together, what does it mean for us, the people using these financial systems? It sounds like investing in this tech, effective monitoring, strong KYC, it's not just about the banks protecting themselves.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's crucial for building trust. Trust and confidence with all of us clients, stakeholders, everyone who relies on secure and reliable financial services day in, day out. It's fundamental.
Okay, so to recap then, we've seen this dual nature of generative AI. It's a powerful tool for criminals, no doubt, enabling sophisticated, large-scale financial crime.
A voting tool, yeah.
Yeah.
Automating and refining their schemes.
But paradoxically, maybe thankfully, it's also emerging as perhaps our strongest defender against those very same crimes.
Exactly.
That really is the aha moment for you listening, isn't it? The very same technology that drives the crime is also absolutely essential for detecting and preventing it. That makes it such a critical area for banks, regulators, all of us really, in this fast-moving digital world.
Absolutely. It's the heart of the issue now.
So here's something to think about. As generative AI keeps evolving, and it's evolving fast, how quickly do our defenses, our understanding, need to adapt to keep pace with this changing landscape of financial security? And maybe more profoundly, what does all this mean for the future of trust in our digital transactions? Something for you to consider.